It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Divas That Care. I am Candace Gish. Well, if this is your very first time, a huge welcome to all of you. The Divas That Care has been going now for 10 years. So we have about 13 hosts right now on the Divas That Care network. So make sure that you check them out at divasthatcare.com. Well, I'm going to be excited today. I have an amazing woman coming back into our program. I've had the opportunity to interview her in the past, and I haven't talked to her in quite a while, and I'm so excited to hear what's new with her. So please welcome Amy Valentine. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Oh, my goodness, girl. I have missed chatting with you. I know that you're doing some extremely awesome things out there, but for all of our new listeners that are just checking us out, could you reintroduce yourself to us?
Absolutely. My name is Amy Valentine, as you've heard, and I am a holistic health coach, and I live in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. I have 3 very wild and busy kids who are active in a lot of sports, which keeps me on my toes, and married to an accountant/baseball coach, which also is a wild ride as well. As a holistic health coach, I help mostly women actually to connect with themselves again, to bring those moments of self-care, self-love, feelings of worthiness to the front of their lives so that they really can feel healthier, feel really, really good in their own bodies. And I'm so pumped to share more on your show today.
Well, I'm excited to hear about that because there has been a lot of changes in your life over the last couple of years here, and you are now a health coach you were mentioning. So can you tell me a little bit about that? I'm excited to hear all about that.
Yes. Yeah, so basically, for a long, long time, I've been supporting individuals in their health through really quality supplementation, 12 years actually. So I am still very, very passionate about that and helping connect individuals to nutrients that can fill the gaps in what they're eating so they can have that high energy every single day, so they can reduce those hot flashes. Oh my gosh, that's a change in itself, Candace. To not have the joint pain, that they are having. So I still do that work, but the other side of things is it became abundantly clear to me that even for my own self and for other women, that working on our mindset and our limiting beliefs really makes a difference in our overall health as well. So really helping individuals to have somebody in their corner. So that's really what I do as a coach is I help individuals to find those strategies, and then I'm holding them accountable to actually following through on those, because you and I both know as women, we are nurturers. We put lots of people ahead of ourselves. Some women are better than others, but for the most part, many, many women are the last person on the list, on their own list. And so I'm helping them to move themselves up in the priority list, to schedule those moments into their day and to actually achieve those goals that they had. And for many women, my clients are sharing with me, they've tried lots of different programs. They've tried Noom, they've tried Weight Watchers, they've tried Bernstein, they've done all of these great things, and parts of those things work really well, which is awesome. But other individuals want to have that personalized approach, so we take the good things from the programs they've done in the past, and then we create a program specific for them with that accountability and person to be there, to obviously be compassionate and empathetic to real life, but to hold their hand and help them get there.
I love that. And how important is that right now? I know that a lot of us have been going through a lot of stresses in our lives. There's a lot going on in our world in 2020, and a lot of people are overwhelmed. How important is it to perhaps have, a coach like yourself, or I would call you almost like a mentor? How is it important to have somebody like you in somebody's life?
Well, from the response that I'm getting from my clients, it's very important. Now more than ever, people are aware of health as being a priority, right? COVID is something that has brought that out in many people, in the amount of stress we're all experiencing, the amount of overwhelm, the uncertainty that we all have experienced around the world. And having someone like me means that you have somebody to talk through some of those feelings and emotions. I have had a lot of people talk to me about how, because they've been working from home, their waistline has increased, and it's really because they're not moving their body to go out to work. Their amount of time on their work has significantly increased because there's no divide now for a lot of people. They're at home and they're at home at work. So having somebody who is, checking in and helping them to talk through some of these things, because quite honestly, I've said to a couple of clients, our partner is there for many, many reasons in our life, but we can't always put it on them that they, are the cheerleader or the accountability person. Do we want our partner to be like, why haven't you done those push-ups yet? Is that going to help your relationship?
Yes.
I don't know. Right? So it's better to have someone like me in their corner who can provide that loving, compassionate support, but I'm not there looking over their shoulder, right, in their kitchen with them like their partner would be. So I've seen a lot of individuals have success having me as a part of their journey.
I love that. And to be honest, do we really want our partners to be that person for us? Because we still want a relationship with them. And we might get mad at them if they're telling us what to do. I know that for myself. I don't think I would want my husband to be there 24/7. Have you done this? Have you done? I'm like, why are you nagging me? Stop doing that. I'm like, but having somebody that, is not that close to you, but still close enough, you're not going to be like that. You're going to be like, okay, you're my accountability partner. You're going to keep me on track, but you're not going to be as emotionally invested in it. And I really like that, because I think it's important. We need these different people in our lives in order for us to be successful.
We really do. We really do.
So tell me, you've been doing this, but there's something that's important to you. I've noticed that. I was kind of reading over your questionnaire here, and there's a cause that's really important to you, and it's the ovarian cancer. And I want to talk a little bit about that, because you've mentioned it quite a few times in here. Why is this important to you, and how can people get involved in order to, support that?
Thank you very much. So one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about ovarian cancer is because, unlike breast cancer, which ton of awareness, right? Big brands are behind that charity, really supporting and organizing events to fundraise. Ovarian cancer is extremely, what is the right word? It is very, very challenging, because most women are diagnosed stage 4, because the symptoms of ovarian cancer are very similar to symptoms that we experience in menstruation, okay? So, and there's no early detection test yet. The Pap test does not test for ovarian cancer. So it is concerning to me as a female that a disease that is this serious doesn't get the attention, and that's part of the reason why I've been involved for so many years, because I want to do my part to help raise those dollars so we can keep doing the research, so that we can find that detection test. So these women who are being diagnosed, they're diagnosed in stage 1, maybe stage 2, instead of stage 4, right, where there's no time to do any treatment.
Exactly.
So, and then, it's spreading, all those things. So this is part of the reason, but, the real deal of it is that many, many years ago, 9 years or so ago, I was feeling like I wanted to do something to give back. As a person before children, I was very involved in many different things, volunteering in so many different ways. And at that time, as a newer mom, I was feeling like I needed an outlet to share my skills and talents, to give back, because contribution is one of my higher values in life. And I happened to see a website that was advertising if you wanted to volunteer. So I clicked on that website and filled out my profile, and Ovarian Cancer Canada, where I am, reached out to me and asked me if I would lead a local walk in my area. And truly, it was a beautiful divine intervention, I think, because I have no personal connection to anyone with ovarian cancer, but over 9 years of organizing this walk, I now have relationships. These women they see me each year, and they come up and they thank me for organizing the walk, and they're partners of the women who've passed thank me for organizing the walk. And then I have this new friend in this. She's my dental hygienist, and her sister is so young. She's like maybe 23, and she's got ovarian cancer. And so I have created relationships with these families who this is either a time where they're celebrating the survival of their loved one, so that survivor comes to our walk and is embraced and celebrated that she's still rocking it. And it's also, the event is also an opportunity for us to create awareness in the community, to recognize those that have passed because of this awful disease. So I feel very honored that I can be a part of this experience for people, and to bring that awareness up that women, yes, I'm a health coach, so I'm always encouraging men and women to really listen to their body. I mean, you know your body the best. So if something is feeling off with your monthly cycle or in between your cycle, and you are over the age of 20, I mean, really paying attention to that and being your own advocate with your doctor to say, no, I want to have further tests. There's something not quite right. It feels different. And sometimes we have to be a bigger advocate for ourselves, especially with a disease, again, that doesn't have a detection test. So that's my story when it comes to ovarian cancer.
Well, I'm blown away because I didn't even realize that there was no detection test in regards to ovarian cancer. So just sharing that with our listeners today is very powerful, because I think that you're right. We need to get that awareness out there on this, because, you don't know. And
yeah.
I think too, a lot of us, as we mentioned earlier, we're overwhelmed, we're stressed out, and some of us will take that for granted. We're like, oh, it's just stress, it's just this, it's just that. But it could be something else, and I'm a firm believer in that too. We have to be out there making sure that these doctors know that there's something wrong with us, and they need to help us, because unfortunately they're overwhelmed too at the same time. And they sometimes, when we tell them that there's all these different symptoms, they don't necessarily I wouldn't say believe us, but they don't take it as seriously as they could.
Yeah,
so I like that.
For sure.
And you know what I'm going to do too, everybody, I'm going to be posting this link that Amy has on her page here. I'm going to be posting where you can donate to the Ovarian Cancer Society. I think that's really important.
Yes.
But this is not the only thing that you are involved in, Amy, and that's why I find it so amazing, of all the things that you are doing, not just for your family and the people around you, but for the world and the communities. You're part of the USANA Foundation. World Vision is important to you. The food banks. So tell me, why is this all important? Like, I know that you said that it's important for you to give back. Why can we share? Why is it important for us as, moms, as, obviously we are business owners and we do a lot of stuff. Why is it important for us to demonstrate this so that others get involved in organizations?
Well, my challenge back to individuals listening is, number one, to take a real evaluation of what your values are, right? Like, if you say that you value spirituality, or if you say that you value family, if you say that you value contribution like me, if you say you value health, and you look at your daily agenda, how often do you see those values in your actual schedule? And this is something that, man, I've been talking about since high school, of, this concept of being involved in your life, getting involved in your life. And for me, that means deeply it's this desire to give back. And I would encourage individuals to think about, if that's important to them, what is the legacy you want to leave? What is the thing you want people to say about you when you're gone? And for me, that's always been an important mantra of, I want my children to learn, whether it's something that they adopt in themselves because they have to find their own values, right? But I want them to see firsthand that their mom was somebody who deeply, deeply believes in giving back in whatever way is possible. And sometimes it's not financial. Sometimes it's by time, right? But it's connecting with things that you feel passionate about. And I'll be honest with you, 9 years ago, I didn't have a clue about ovarian cancer. But now it's grown into being something that is important in my life. The USANA Foundation, I was able to travel for the first time in my life to do a live mission trip last May, and that changed my life in a huge way. Before that, I was simply donating dollars, but this was a chance for me to actually see firsthand where the money was going and meet the real people. It was before COVID, and hug the people the children that are impacted by the donations for, health products and food. World Vision, I mean, let's be real. I have been an empathetic person my entire life, and so it was those early commercials as a young person, seeing those kids on commercials that have no food. I've donated to World Vision for over, I think I'm almost close to 20 years of donating to World Vision, because I can't wrap my head around these young children having no food. And then when I went on the mission trip with the USANA Foundation, I saw firsthand these kids who have so little, and then I come home to a family and we have so much. So it's like that, connecting to what is important in your own heart and finding a way, if that feels right to you, finding a way to serve in that way. My husband is so passionate about baseball, and he serves our community through his passion for that, teaching young men and women skills in leadership and confidence on the field, right? So we all can give back in the way that fits for us.
That is so true. I love that. Thank you so much for that advice for our listeners. And, for some of our listeners that would love to talk with Amy, she's offering a free 30-minute consultation. Can you want to share that with our listeners today?
Absolutely. So I've shared that I'm a holistic health coach. I talk with women on things like confidence, time management, organization, losing weight, skin health, healthy mindset, all of these different aspects. And if you have an interest in talking in supplementation, accountability around exercise, if you have any interest in anything that I've shared here today, you can go to the link that Candace will post to book a free 30-minute consultation with me. And I will, in that call, share a couple of tips for the thing that you are focused on improving. If it's that you want to do something about stopping your connection with the refrigerator or your snack cupboard. All of these things are important, right? Because I'm really here to help move the needle forward in your health, help you feel better in your own body, help you feel amazing, and recognize that you are truly a phenomenal human being. And all of these little things that we do, they all matter and they all add up.
Thank you so much, Amy, for doing that. And last question that I have for you is, what is your secret on how you do it all? How do you get all your activities that you're able to do that? And what are the tips and tools that you have for our listeners today?
Thank you. Yeah, I would say number one, like I already mentioned, is looking at your daily agenda. For me, I absolutely put things in my calendar, and I write stuff down so that it's easier for me to remember. I think our brains are so overloaded. I mean, we are so overloaded with what's going on. Take a load off your brain and write it down so it can help you. Quick prioritization is something I would say that I'm really skilled at in evaluating, all of the things that I have that are coming up, let's say today, for example, and what are the things that I can fit into the nooks and crannies to get those off my list? What are the things that I need to have scheduled in to get done? I don't spend a ton of time worrying. If that's a habit you want to focus on, I would love to talk with you about that. But when we can take that huge amount of time that some people spend worrying off of our plate and recognize that there's certain things that we can control and certain things that we can't, we use that time in a more effective way to get more done. And that's the other piece of the puzzle. I would say that I take action quickly. Sometimes people might say I take action a little bit too quickly in some circumstances, but I would rather be an action-oriented person that I can get my to-do list done than miss out on enjoying life because I am stressed that I'm, not on track. So I try and use my time as effectively as possible.
I love that. Thank you so much for those tips. That is wonderful. Well, you know what? I just wanted to let you know I had a great time. I love chatting with you. I love hearing what you're doing now. This is fantastic. I think you're making a big impact in people's lives.
Thank you.
Well, you know what, Amy, one of the things that I want to ask you is that if you are interested, I would love to have you back on the show again because, you know, as I said, we have had, you've transitioned so much in the last couple of years. I'm like, okay, now what is she going to be doing next? You know, she's doing this. And I love that your tag is called Your Health Cheerleader because, you know what, isn't that what we need nowadays is somebody to cheer us on and help us through these different transitions that we're all going through. And with what you're doing, you know what, I think that's exactly what people are needing today. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for involving us in this part of your journey and being able to share this with all of our listeners.
Oh, it was my absolute pleasure to be here with you again today. I love chatting with you as well.
Awesome. Well, you know what? And I want to thank all of our amazing listeners that have been tuning in for the last 10 years or for our new ones that are just checking us out today. You know what? I appreciate each and every one of you. As I said, we have so many amazing hosts on our Divas That Care network, and we're all over different platforms, so you can listen to us on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Stitcher. So make sure that you check that out and pass it on to your friends and family, and make sure that you check out Amy's. I'm going to be posting her website so that you can check her out and connect with her and do that 30-minute free consultation. All right, everybody, I hope that you have a fantastic day and that you make sure that you do something kind. Bye-bye for now.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.